guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's a Sunday evening, it's the back of 9, it's getting dark, eh? Starting early. Well, we had a little bit of, I never saw lightning, but thunder anyway. So I thought we'd do a face mask together and have a wee chit chat. So this is the Primark Protecting Multi-Biotic mask. Made in Korea, it was 80p. And it doesn't tell me anything more than that, other than you put it on for 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't even tell me I don't really know. It doesn't tell me if it's hydrating or anything. So, oh well, it was 80p. I've never tried it before, and I thought I would try it the night. It's all white and slimy. Great. I don't think I want to put this on my face. Nice. I have the most disgusting taste in my mouth because of having a sore throat for over the past week. I feel like all I do is constantly like scrape my tongue and brush my teeth. This is absolutely vile. Is it gonna sit on? Is it gonna fit my face? Okay, at least it's not absolutely freezing. You know how I normally put it on and I'm like, oh, it's so cold. Now, obviously it's got these wee flaps here for over your eyes, but we won't be putting them up because then you won't be able to see me. Maybe you don't want to see me. Rub the excess into my hands, even though I have a zero clue of what the benefits are of this mask. So let's have a chat. What's been happening? Well, basically with myself, there's not too much happening. I can't decide whether I've still got COVID or not. I did the test a week last Friday, and I took the test again 5 days later just to check, and 5 days later I was still positive. I had to get antibiotics for a lovely UTI, the joys of being female. So I finished those course of those. The first course that the chemist gave me, I am allergic to, and apparently it's on my notes, but they still gave me them anyway, and I couldn't remember if I was allergic to them or not, so I reacted to that. So that wasn't pleasant. And I ended up feeling quite unwell with it. Thramipral or something it's called, but I was looking up reviews of it, and the reviews are horrendous. Like, there was one woman who literally tried to kill herself on them because they were giving her such horrendous dreams and thoughts. Like, I literally think from reading those mad reviews it needs to be banned. So yeah, maybe if you ever get offered that, don't take it. I certainly wouldn't be. So I ended up having to phone the doctor on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, and say and explain. And she was like, she was raging. She was like, that's on your notes. She was like, when they're looking up your date of birth and everything at the chemist, they should have looked at the list that we have for you and seen that you are allergic to that and you can't take them. So she was like, I will make sure that that is alerted, so that you don't ever have to suffer that again. And she was like, make sure to take down a note of it for yourself, so that when they say to you, if they say to you, this is what we were planning to give you, you can't have it. So long story short, I got other antibiotics, which, as she said, she checked the list. I'd had them before. I hadn't reported any adverse reactions to it, and she was giving me a 3-day course that would take me over the weekend. So I finished them on Saturday. But I think I'm going to need a few more just to make sure that's completely gone. So on top of that, and if I still have COVID and this heat, yeah, it's been joy. Joy, joy, joy. We took the wee boy to this trampoline park yesterday. Oh my God. I thought I was going to pass out in there. I hate the heat anyway, but we were thinking, surely to goodness, a place like that where kids, adults are jumping about, I'm going to be roasting, they're going to have aircon. They didn't. No aircon, honest to God. I felt so sorry for the staff as well. Like, the guy that was working in the kitchen, he just looked like he was miserable. I was like, honestly, It was so, so unpleasant, but obviously it had already been paid, you know, for him to go in for an hour. I've never wanted an hour to pass so quickly in my entire life. And then I got a slushie and it was like nearly £4 for a slushie. I was like, for fuck's sake. So that was yesterday. Didn't do anything on Friday. My throat was pretty bad on Friday, like so sore to swallow. So I didn't do anything on Friday. And that's been it, really. I've just been... I mean, I put makeup on Saturday for going out, and I don't know how some of it stayed on, because I was literally melting. I used the P. Louise, the Money Pit palette, and like Bruce was going, oh, well, your eye makeup's still on. I was like, well, at least that's something, because it was unbearable. And it was like less... you know, the temperature was less on Saturday than it was compared to, I think it was Thursday. No, in fact, I think it was like Wednesday, midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday. Excuse me, it was like 28 degrees. It was only like 20 yesterday. It was horrendous. So as Bruce says, we're definitely not going back there in the summer because it was horrible. Even he was just like, I need to get out of here. But we didn't want to ruin his fun and be like, come on. I mean, even the wee guy, he was suffering himself a wee bit, but he still enjoyed it. But bloody hell, they were trying to kill us. And surely, that's what I was saying, surely it's not good for your staff to be in that working environment, because God knows what time the place opens at and closes. It's bound to be, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning until, I don't know, maybe 6 at night or something. And then they've got birthday parties in as well. So yeah, that wasn't pleasant. I've also been keeping up with what was going on. I'm not going to say back home because I don't see it as my home, even though I stayed there for over 20 odd years up in the Isle of Skye. It came out on the news on Wednesday that there had been a shooting, and I know the people that are involved in it, and the man that was murdered instantly and died, he used to be my neighbour. So I've kind of been keeping up with that on the news and stuff, and like speaking to a couple of people that I still keep contact with on Facebook Messenger, you know, just to see what's happening and stuff. And because, long story short, basically, this guy, he's called Finlay MacDonald. He's been arrested and caught. Nobody seems to know at the minute, or it's not come out in the media, why. But he basically stabbed his wife. She is in a critical condition in Glasgow, and I haven't heard any more on her. Then he went to his brother-in-law and sister's house and shot him, and he died instantly. By the time the emergency services got there, he was gone, and he did that in front of his children and his own sister. So he was 47, the guy, John McKinnon, and he died. And then he went over to Dorney, which is on the mainland of the island, and he shot the osteopath, John Don Mackenzie, and his wife. Now, apparently he attacked him because he blamed him for the increasing pain he has in his back. So John Don, the osteopath, he was taken to Rigmore Hospital, which is the nearest, biggest hospital to the Isle of Skye. And he is still, I believe, in a critical condition from being shot. His wife was taken to Broadford Hospital, which is on Skye, and it's 15 miles away from where the incident... Well, it's 15 miles away from where the guy that caused all this stays. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't matter, but Broadford Hospital is basically the little hospital that they have on the island. So if it's not anything severe, you go there. And she got shot in the head and the face. So according to the news reports, she has been released, but she's going to have permanent disfigurement because of these injuries. So as it stands just now, he was up in court on Friday, and he didn't make a plea deal, so he will be back in court again in 8 days, but he's been remanded. So at the moment, he's obviously getting done for murder of his brother-in-law, and of causing grievous harm, or whatever the term would be, or attempted murder on the other three. But yeah, God knows. And it's a big thing. Like, at first, when it came up on the news, you know, just like a flash thing, and it came up and said the names of the places, both me and Bruce's ears perked up, and we were like, I know where that is, you know, that's on Sky. And when it said that there had been an incident, I don't think either of us expected it to be that, because these sorts of things just don't seem to happen in these kind of small places. So, of course, when it came to the headlines at the 6 o'clock news and it had said, and at the time it never said who or what, just that there had been a shooting and stuff, I was like, oh my God. And even Bruce was like, you know, you wouldn't expect that of a small place. So as I say, I contacted a lady I used to work with, and she filled me in a wee bit, and I was like, bloody hell. So yeah, I've been keeping, you know, just watching that just to see, and yeah, I really hope that the others pull through, and God knows what made the guy go and do this, but it's mental. As I say, one of the ladies that used to come up and work up in the Gaelic College, which is where I used to work, she used to come up in the summer holidays and help out, and she stays in Ayrshire, and I was letting her know about it, and she was saying you just wouldn't think of anything like that happening there. Like, it's not unusual to hear it in like Glasgow or Edinburgh or Inverness or any wee cities, but in a small place like that, you just don't think of that happening. And I was saying to her, but it's the same with drugs. Like, she was saying herself that she was like, is there drugs on Sky? You know, she was like, or am I being naive? And I was just like, yes, there is. You know what I mean? And it's just that it's not in your face like it is in a city or a town, you know? These things go on. I mean, there was even a good few years ago, I was working and this creepy guy was just about, and he kept appearing, and then we were told that he was a paedophile, that he'd been put to a smaller island for his own protection. But it's like, we didn't want them, you know what I mean? Like, and again, when I was telling Doreen about that, she was just like, I can't believe that. Like, obviously, you know what I mean? You know that these things happen and go on. But in a smaller place like that, you just don't expect to hear it. And when it did say that some incident had taken place, I never for a minute thought it was anything to do with somebody going on the rampage with a shotgun or a knife or what have you. So I believe from what the news said on Friday, Finlay is going to be up again in court in Inverness in 8 days' time. So, yeah. Why he did it, I do not know. I really, really don't. It's just, honest to God, it's shocking. Like, what makes you suddenly wake up just one random day and just do what he did, you know? And that's what I was saying to Bruce. If you're like, I love crime things and books and stuff, and I love like watching true crimes and stuff like that. So I can't help when I'm sitting and my mind's going, and that's what I was saying to Bruce. You end up thinking, so I wonder what made him do it. Like, did he just flip? Is he mentally unstable? Is he just pure evil? Did somebody say something just to tick him off? Or, you know what I mean? I don't know. I know who the guy is that did it, but I don't know. Like, I only know him to see him sort of thing. Same with his wife that he stabbed. John Don, the osteopath, I went to him with my nerve pain in my leg, so I know who he is, and he's a lovely man. I've never met his wife. And John McKinnon, who was Finlay's brother-in-law, he used to be my neighbour when I stayed up there. And, you know, so out of them all, like, he's the only one that I actually, like, know who he is. And you're just like, I don't know, you're trying to comprehend it, because that's what I was saying to Bruce. I can't help just the way my brain works. I was going, so what made him stab his wife? Because that was the first person that he attacked. Like, did they have an argument? Did he, like, what made him do that? Because obviously, you know, well, not obviously, but it seems like that came out of nowhere. And then you're just like, once he'd done that, did he think, fuck, what have I done? And then go to his sister and brother-in-law's house, I don't know, maybe to confess and say, oh, I've done this? Or did he intentionally go there to attack one of them? Because some people are saying, obviously, that John was trying to protect, like, you know, his family, his kids and that, and then that happened. And then, obviously, he was going to John Donne for help with his back. So you can see the correlation there, or I can, in the sense that he might be thinking, I'm in so much pain, and just the rage and whatever, that he goes and targets the osteopath guy. But you're just like, was it just pure evil then, the other two killings along the way? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, there's no justifying any of it, regardless, whether it's mental health, the fact he was in pain or whatever. As I was saying to Bruce as well, like, I suffer with chronic nerve pain in my leg every single day of my life. It's every night. It is agonising. And, you know, I just want it gone, and I want the doctor to do more about it, and I want the doctor to look into it more. And sometimes I feel like they just ignore you and they're not helping you. But I don't wake up one day and think, well, I'm going to go and shoot my doctor. You know what I mean? So, like, regardless of how much pain he might have been in, what suddenly makes you think, you know, my back's fucking agony, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to kill you? Because he's still got back pain, he's still going to have back pain now, regardless of what he's gone and done. And look at the amount of lives he's ruined, as well as his own. You know what I mean? It is like something out of a horror film or a horror book. You just can't believe it. Like, you know what I mean? He left the mother of his 4 young kids to die. He just drove off and left her. And then went to his own sister's house and killed his brother-in-law again in front of these kids. And then went over to the osteopath, who was probably just having a perfectly nice day, probably getting up for work, and just opens fire on him and his wife. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, I've been keeping up with that. And yeah, I hope he gets what's coming to him, because he's clearly unstable. In fact, I said to Bruce as well, I'm surprised that he's not pulling that one, that I was not in my right mind, or my mental health, or I didn't know what I was doing because of the pain. I mean, I don't know, maybe he will go down that route to try and get out of it or not. Whether he has remorse or not, who can say? But that's the other thing as well. When you do anything and you stay in such a small place, there's no getting away from it. No getting away from it at all. Because everybody knows everyone and everyone's in your business. That's why I'm so glad I'm away from there as well. At least there's no guarantee that every second person you see knows who you are. But up there, everybody knows your business. As my mum used to say, my late mum used to say, they would know how many times you'd went to the toilet, or if you'd just had a fart. That's how much people are in your business in small places like that. So, yeah. So that's basically the gist of what I've been doing. I don't really know what this mask, getting back to the mask, is supposed to do for my skin, because as I say, all it says on it is a protecting mask, and it says biotic sheet mask. So it feels nice and plump and moisturised. So that's good. I'm just going to pop on some of this Pixie Collagen Eye Serum while I'm here. For 80p, it's okay. It's not irritated my skin. My skin feels nice, and it's had a nice wee pamper for a Sunday night. But yeah. So, yeah, I would recommend it, I suppose, if you want to try one. Oh, I washed my hair tonight. So this is the second wash it's had since me dyeing it on Thursday. And again, I just used my little hair turban-y thing. So I've had no hair dryer on it or anything. So this is just all my natural hair. I haven't used a hair dryer in over a month. I've just literally been popping my spray on in that, and so yeah, this is the hair. This is the way it kind of goes. So I do get that kind of natural wee bit of kink or something in it, but that's what it is. Anyway, I'm off. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, click the bell to be notified of when I next upload, and I'll see you next time. Bye.